Hey y'all, what's up, Bomb Squad? This is your girl, Lisa, and today is Saturday and it is Real Talk, and I am back, as you can see, in the building. So when you watch this in the replay, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe for your girl. But we about to get on to this Real Talk because this past week has been a little crazy. Hey, Marita. As y'all can see, I'm going to put how you get this, but I am still advertising for my nephew, Rugged Soul. This is his hat. And y'all know what? I have come to find out that I clearly did not learn enough in kindergarten because I don't know my left from my right sometimes. But Rugged Soul, this is just a beanie. This is just one of the things they have. So we're going to put that in the description down below when you're watching this video. But it is Rugged Soul. All right. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Marita. Hey, Leilani. My co-host with the most to say something, Leilani. You murdered.
Because I'm cooking and it's loud.
You unmurdered. You go ahead and move yourself there. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. Hello to the 9 people who are watching. I'm getting a little late start because, as you can see, I am back in the saddle again. Your girl is still in her wheelchair. However, I'm still using my wheelchair. Let me say that. Not walking, but I am getting better. And I got doctor's appointments coming up. So you'll see your girl, out and about. Hey, Sonya, back doing that thing. Hey, silly mommy for life. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Hello. As you can see, Friday. This is still my birthday month, by the way. So she acting like it's not, but it's still my birthday month.
No.
Because last year this time we were still celebrating my birthday this week, and she was still taking me out and doing stuff, but she trying to get
because of COVID.
She trying to get it was COVID last year.
Not this bad. We was already out. No.
First of all, this was the next weekend. She just a whole story, because I got my Facebook notifications and we were out that next weekend.
It
we
was
weren't out
COVID the whole time.
Yeah. Yep, it was COVID the whole time.
Shut up, Leilani. Shut up.
People can't stand you. What? You been saying no to everybody. Yes, no is everything. No, it is 2020, and the word of the day is no. Can I borrow? No. Can you give me? No. Can you ride with? No. Can you help me stalk my boyfriend? Hell no. This is the year. This is 2020, and we saying no, 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 no. And if you need extra languages, it all sounds like no in other languages. Okay. That's right, silly mommy. You better tell them no shit. Oh, my bad. Let me not start by cussing. Because, as you can see from the title, we're going to get into a little cussing. And we're going to get into a little sex addiction that ain't got nothing to do with the cussing. Yes, Pisces, baby. Veronica know what to say. Know what to say. Know what to say. Still my birthday. Till it ain't my birthday. She be messing up. No, I'm just kidding. Well, April is our middle ground because her birthday month is May. So in April, we normally do stuff like if we were going on a trip and we didn't go in March. So instead of going in May, when it starts to become a little more expensive to go, we'll do it in April. So April is our middle ground month where we still kind of celebrate each other's birthday. I celebrate hers before hers come. And, just whatever residual celebration left over on mine. But now she's trying to get all sassy. Okay. You're welcome, silly mommy for life, baby. Sometimes you lose yourself. That's what happens. Sometimes we lose ourselves. Sometimes in trying to be everything to everybody, we become nothing to ourselves. And every now and again, you need somebody to help you get back the way you were so that you can take care of you and everybody else around you. So that is no problem whatsoever, silly, because there are days when during this time, since I've hurt myself, I don't feel like myself. So I can understand. I don't feel like the person I was even the day before I fell down the stairs, even the day before I broke my leg. I don't feel like the person that I was. But that doesn't mean the person that I am right now is not who I want to be. It's just the situation that I happen to be in. And I know that I let my fear and my trepidation and my mind, I know I let it make me sit down for a minute. And I got to get out of that. So if I got to crawl, you know what I'm saying? I done got to the point. Let me tell you something. Spend a month in rehab and watch when all your modesty go away. Okay? Spend a month in rehab and you got to rely on other people to do everything for you. Everything. I don't mean just for asking my wife to do stuff, but rely on people to do everything for you and see, won't you change how you feel about when you can say yes and no? Because at the time, even though they were doing stuff that I thought was out of pocket, if I said no, these people are responsible for my everything, including my medicine. So I'm telling you some good stuff. It feels wrong. I don't know, for some reason we've been taught to say it feels wrong to tell somebody no. It feels wrong to be selfish. It feels wrong to think of oneself first. But that's just not how the world is. That's the problem. That has to do with even the title of what we're talking about. How Kirk Franklin has spent most of his adult life. Yes, exactly. I let my fear get me into the mind. So yes, your fear, I'm telling you, hey Marguerite, I'm telling you, fear is something I didn't know how debilitating it was because I've never had in my adult life. Now, when I was a young adult and doing shit I ain't had no business doing, yeah. I mean, I wasn't one of those kids who thought that I was gonna live forever. I knew there was death in the world. But then I can say I was scared, situations I got into. But as an adult, as a grown up, I wasn't scared of nothing. I couldn't be scared of nothing. Because you got to take care of yourself. But when fear takes over, it will stop you from being the person that you know you are. But like I was saying, we get so caught up in being everything for everybody that we stop being ourselves. That's the problem with Mr. Franklin. Deacon Kirk. I don't know whether you're a deacon or not. It just seems like you should be. Don't seem like you should be a deacon in somebody's church. Say the words, deacon. Say it, deacon. Don't seem like it should be the deacon in somebody's church. We just gonna say Deacon Frank. He has gotten so much of his life is spent making other people praise the Lord that y'all forget there's a man behind those songs and behind those words. There's a father, there's a husband, there's a son, there's a brother, there's a cousin, there's a nephew behind those words and behind the persona that he shows to the world, because that his whole world is not for us. So I hadn't listened. I'm just gonna talk because we got 14 people. I ain't gonna wait for us to fill up. They can, they come in as they come in. I appreciate everybody. So come in when you can. So I had not listened to the infamous Kirk Cussin tape to this day because to me, it was none of my business. None of my business. What that man said to his grown son. So before the video, before I came on, I decided to listen to it so I would know what all the ruckus was about. Hallelujah. It was what? How many seconds was that thing, baby? It wasn't even a minute. It was Leilani, how long was the little snippet? About 15, 20 seconds? It was maybe 15, 20 seconds. It was like, what was it? Y'all done heard me say every cuss word he said on there. So it wasn't no new cuss words. He didn't pull out nothing new, It's just, I guess, because it was Kirk Franklin saying. But for everybody in this chat who has children, I want for all of you, mothers and fathers, I want you to put your hands up if you have never thought about calling your child out their name. I can't put my hand. I done thought about it. Oh, and sometimes when they done did stuff, I done did it. Not that far, because he only 16. He hasn't quite got to the level that Kirk went to. But at 33, I would cuss my 33-year-old son out like that. I would cuss my 33-year-old daughter out like that. Sure would, because now you're an adult. So I don't have to treat you like you a child because you're not. So I listened to it and I was like, okay, what he said. Number one, let's forget the tape. Let's forget the content of the recording, and let us speak upon the recording in and of itself. Why was he recording his daddy cussing him out? Mm. Don't worry, I'll wait. Was it for what reason other than to embarrass and antagonize his daddy? So clearly, the tape itself gives you the reason to why he is cussing that child out. Why? When was the last time? Now I want everybody in the chat, Leilani, you too, since you can talk, you can say it. I want to know when the last time you thought about recording your mom and daddy when they talking to you. You ever thought about recording Papa when he cussing out somebody?
Unless we make a video. No.
When last time y'all wanted to just you and your children are in a ruckus, or your mama and your daddy, you grown, so your mom and daddy cussed you out for something you done did, or something something you ain't did, for whatever reason. How many people have whipped out their phone and hit record? Anybody? I want some ones.
The only way that would ever be on camera for me is because it was all
right. But I want some ones for everybody who has whipped out their recording device on their parents and recorded when they got cussed out. Anybody? Anybody? Yeah. Now I'm gonna keep talking. So, but if there anybody who has recorded their parents cussing them out, feel free to hit that one, just in case. I'm trying to see something. Okay. So we're gonna go to young Master Franklin. I'm assuming that's his eldest son. That little boy is 33 years old. So that's his eldest. Sonny said, my child is 13. I would never do that. But how many times have you, as an adult, because this is not a child. The killing part is I could see a 13-year-old or 15 or 16-year-old because they live in the age of electronic media. They live in the age of YouTube, Facebook, everything is online. Their entire lives are online. So I could see somebody young saying, oh, I'm going to play this back when my mom and daddy get older so they can see how they used to treat me. I could see that because they're raised in a different time than we are. I am talking about us as adults because he's 33. He's not a baby. He's not even in his 20s anymore. He's 33 years old. How many of you as adults have got fussed at by your parents? We ain't gonna say go so far as getting cussed out, because being cussed out by your mama and daddy, that means you done did something. Now, unless they're abusive or something like that, but if you getting cussed out by your mom and daddy to that level, you done did something. So how many of us have thought about whipping out our phone and hitting record when we getting cussed out for something we done did? You know that your father is in the public eye. You know that your father is his brand. So because I don't know Kirk personally, so I can't tell you about his heart and his spirit. I can tell you the persona that he puts out, and I can tell you that the brand that he follows is all a Christian-based brand. From the songs to the message to even the shows that he's in. This is a Christian-based brand. So you know that your father has a Christian-based brand, and you figured the one thing that would embarrass your father the most would be for the world to hear him using expletives, cuss words, the ones that we use so freely because we can. But him, as someone who in the public eye is Christian and godly, he shouldn't do that. Now, I would like to know, because I don't know every word in the Bible, and I don't know every scripture in the Bible, but I would like for somebody to tell me the scripture where they said, "Thou shalt not cuss." Anybody?
I was thinking about it today, and Jesus cussed that it was a fig tree or olive tree that didn't have no fruit in it because it was out of season, and he cussed it and killed it.
I mean,
and that was Jesus, who had no sin. He didn't know sin. So if
well, see, that's the thing. That's the thing about the Bible. Why wouldn't Jesus know sin? To be of man, to be a part of man, you have to experience what man goes through. And man, in and of itself, just by essence of his birth, is committing a sin. That's why you have to baptize your babies, right? And I mean, I mean, this is just questions that I ask. I would like, I don't know the answers to. I don't know everything. So they say that a child that is not baptized don't go to heaven, right? Isn't that somewhere in some people saying you got to be baptized, you're unclean or something? I don't know. I don't know the logistics.
Some people believe
that. Okay. So, and Jesus lived as a man before he ascended, right? So he lived in a time where he had to be a man and to know what the people that he was dying for was going through. So again, I would like to say, would somebody tell me the scripture and verse that says thou shalt not cuss? Because as we've already seen, nobody pays attention to the other commandments. Thou shalt not kill, because somebody right now just got killed by somebody else. So we don't pay attention to that one. Thou shalt not steal. Somebody right now to snatch somebody's pocket. So we don't really care about that one. Thou shalt not covet. What is it? What's that commandment? I think I said it wrong.
What somebody else has, covet.
Yeah. Okay. So envy and jealousy is a real thing. The people next door want their grass to look like yours. That is coveting. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Is anybody in the bed with somebody they shouldn't be right now? You might not want to say that particular one out loud. Oh yeah. So you can't wear polyester because that's a blend. You can't eat shrimp or pork. So anybody that just got through busting it open on some crab legs with some bacon, oh, you're going to hell. So my question is, where in the Bible did somebody say, I can't cuss out my child when I feel like it, when it's warranted, when they have got me past the words that I can say in public? Because he wasn't in public. He was on his phone, a one-on-one conversation with his 33-year-old son. Hey, Heather, he was having a one-on-one conversation with his 33-year-old son in private, or so he thought. So where does it say in any scripture, anywhere, that Kirk didn't have right to cuss out his son?
Now, it does say in the Bible that his son didn't have the right to disrespect his father.
There you go. I was about to get there. That's why I kept reiterating that, because I wanted to see where it was. But there is a commandment. It's 10 of those. Them the big boys. I mean, there's a lot of other ones, but then the big boys. Thou shalt honor thy mother and father. Did he honor his daddy when he recorded his daddy? What did he do? He said something about, I will beat your ass if you disrespect me one more. So the young man was being disrespectful.
Yeah, because he was only recording his father. He didn't record what he said.
Right. He didn't record at the beginning when the conversation started. Right. Leilani makes a good point. The entire conversation was not recorded. The entire situation was not recorded. You know how when we watch those videos of young men and women of color being killed and beaten by the police, how the first thing the police want to say, or the news media, or the people that say they shouldn't have resisted, the first thing they want to say is what happened in the rest of the video. The video was edited so it looked like the police was doing the wrong thing. All of that. So why are y'all jumping on Kirk? Look at him. Let me tell you something. You can't tell me what the hell to do with my child. Not now, none of y'all. Hey, Asia. You can't tell me what to do with him. You can't tell me what to say to him. You can't tell me what not to say to him. You can't tell me what to give him. And you can't tell me what to take away from him. And I don't care who the hell I am. Can't none of y'all tell me what to do with my child. I cannot tell Leilani, and I love Leilani and her babies. I cannot tell Leilani what to do with them 2 kids at her house right now. I can't tell her what to feed them. I can't tell her what not to feed them. I can't tell her what to say to them. I can't tell her what not to say to them. Now, I can say something to her. Hey, you may not want to tell your babies and call your babies this, and you may want to rein that in. I'm going to say something to her. But I can't make her do anything because I can't. Y'all get up off Kirk. Get the hell up off Kirk. Because y'all don't know why he was pushed to the point to where he had to come out of pocket. Because the reality is, like I said, I don't know him personally. That's not my homeboy. We've never hung out. And the only thing I've ever done with Kirk Franklin is sing his songs. That's it. So I don't know him. Hey, Marie.
Hey, Joy.
Oh, that's Joy. My bad.
Yes,
y'all think I'm... Hey, if I'd have read below the Marie, I might have seen the Joy. Hey, Joy. Yeah. So leave Kirk alone. Leave him alone. Because let me tell you something. I'm going to say one more time. Look at him. Even his sister came out and defended what her father did, saying her brother was raised with a silver spoon in his mouth. Come on now. Because he's 33, and I've been singing his songs since I was in my 20s, and I just turned 54, which means the little boy, right. He didn't want for nothing. He didn't need for nothing. But now you want to try to embarrass your daddy because something that you felt because you did something enough, you pushed him far enough to where he wanted to cuss you out. Come on now. You know how many times? Look here, my grandmother, nice little Christian, bless her little hard lady from the South. You know how many times I done made her say a couple of F's and a couple of MLs? I done pushed her to the point where she had to come out of her little church lady pocket, put down her little pocketbook, put down her little church lady fan, pick up her bill and tell me to kiss her ass. You understand what I'm saying? So don't sit up here at this righteous indignation that everybody has because Kirk lowered himself to say the F word, or I will beat your ass. I will beat your ass. Now that's what the Bible did tell him to do. Spare the rod for the child. That's what it did tell him to do. It did tell him to beat his ass. Now, I might not say to beat his ass in the Bible, but that's what it meant. Get the hell off, Kirk. He had every right to say whatever the hell he wanted to his son. His son decided that he was going to be disrespectful and record what his father was saying so he can embarrass and show out his father on a public level. Well, publicly, Kirk, we with you, player. I'm still going to sing your songs. I'm still going to sit up there and laugh every now and again because, you look at Kirk Franklin, and it's funny because two things, because the memes just bust. As soon as that tape hit, the memes started going. And y'all, they had Kirk on one side. This is Kirk before. And then they had Plies on the other side saying this is Kirk after. And I'm like, well, he do kind of look like Plies.
They do look alike.
They do look alike.
Especially when Plies got teeth and not gold.
Huh?
Yeah, they said especially now that Plies
got
teeth.
Yeah. I was like, because I didn't pay attention. Because when you think of Kirk Franklin and you think of Plies, those are the opposite ends of the spectrum musically.
But I've always wondered if they were related because I've always been like,
I was wondering, was they cousins or something? Then Papa was Rolling Stone. Do he look like his daddy? Could this day they be brother? You never know. So we're not gonna go into his family tree. But that being said, now here's the thing. If Plies had said the exact same thing to his 33-year-old son, if Plies had said exactly what Kirk Franklin had said, nobody would have raised an eyebrow. Not one person would have got up in arms and talked about Plies' Christianity and his love for Jesus. Not one person would have said anything about Plies. And as a matter of fact, they would agree with Plies. Because they would have said, Plies, what did he do to make you cuss? What did he do to make you show out like that? If it hadn't been Plies. But because it was Kirk, because Kirk decided that he wanted to follow the word and wanted to be Kirk Franklin, the Christian religion, well, not Christian, I'll say icon, because Kirk is at that level now. To when you think of gospel music, when you think of urban or contemporary gospel music, the first person that pops into your mind is Kirk Franklin. So I will give him his icon status. So when you come to be in that iconic situation where they associate you with one specific thing, which is religion, churchy, Reverend Pastor Deacon Dr. Doug, when they associate you with that one thing, they think that is your entire life. But in reality, your religion and your Christianity and the spirituality you follow is just one aspect of who you are. Kirk is still somebody's husband. He's still somebody's daddy. He's still somebody's child. And all the things that you feel about your mama, your sisters and brothers, and your kids, he feels about his. And when he's in the sanctity of his own home or his own car, on his own personal phone, talking to somebody who should have said, all right, Dad, I'm sorry. But instead, he want to go back at him, talking about try it. I wish, let me tell y'all some good stuff.
And they ain't gonna lie. I didn't disrespect you. You a whole lie. That's the only thing was him talking about I didn't.
You, first of all, by recording your father's conversation, you disrespected him. Let's forget about everything else. By recording, by hitting record, as soon as you hit record on there, you started disrespecting your dad. Because you knew you were recording that so you could publicly humiliate him. You weren't recording that so you could come back at a later date and laugh about, oh, ha, ha, ha. This is what my daddy said to me. You recorded that so that you could sell it to TMZ. So that you could put it out there. So that now you're relevant. Because before, you was just Kirk Franklin's son. But in reality, you still just Kirk Franklin's son. I don't know your name. And I don't want to know your name. You're a disrespectful little boy that I hope your daddy get hope to you. My mama now wish you would say something back to me. I don't care how old you. Oh, she clapping. I was wait. Okay, now I got it. My mama now wish you would say something back to me. I don't care how old you are. I brought you in this world and out. Now try me. Okay, I got it. Because for a second I was like, what the hell? How am I supposed to read that? I got it now.
No, she was saying, oh, mama, at this age right now, if my grandmother, what year is this? 20. My grandmother would be 95, because she would turn 100 years old in 5 years. So she'd be 95 next month. My 95-year-old grandmama, I'm still scared of her. And she is deceased and long gone. But I would still be scared of my 95-year-old grandma. My granny would cuss you out in the church and then go right back and say it, preacher. And
now finish the word. Finish the word.
Come on.
Nah, I got it. Peter messed around and said a curse word in church. Look, the Lord know my heart.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me, Pastor.
Do you know how many children in the church, especially because back in the day, realistically, we got drugged to church. I'm sorry to all the parents that take their kids to church, think their kids really, really want to be in there. Now, there are some kids that do. There are some kids that are just like anything else. From a young age, they realize they calling. But for the most part, most children, you are dragging your children to church. They're not listening to the word. They only want to go there and see their friends they see on Wednesday and Sunday. And that's why, especially in a black church, that last 3-4 hours, they answer it by about 45 minutes because they in church all the time. That's what you're doing. You're dragging your kids to church because then it's just another classroom. It's just something else they got to learn. Just like anything else you try to teach them. English, math, science, religion. That's just something else they got to learn. They have to grow into their spirituality. So you're dragging your kids to church. So maybe the little boy got mad he was dragged to church all the time. But guess what? When we get dragged to church, we don't get paid. My mama didn't get paid for me singing, for me being in church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, actually every day.
Yep, every day.
I went to a Catholic school. We went to church at school, and I was Catholic. I eventually became Catholic. We went to church at school Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I had choir rehearsal on Wednesday nights after church at school. I had choir rehearsal on Thursday night sometime. I had choir rehearsal on Saturday, which was the only day that I didn't have to go to anybody's church except for choir rehearsal. And on Sunday, I had went to church Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yes, 3-4 hours, hood. Yes, I don't know what you go to the Right Baptist Church, baby. You're going at 11 o'clock. You're not getting out till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Trust me when I tell you. And they don't even have cookies and punch no more. You just sit up in there. Okay? I don't know why. At 54, I still don't know why.
They still gonna chit chat for a good another hour and a half before they.
And they gonna dare your ass to say something. Dare you to say something. Act like you want to stop your mama from talking to Miss Mary for the 35, 40 minutes at the church you want to. And I promise you on everything I love, when you get home, your mama gonna beat your ass, asking you who you thought you was trying to get ready to go.
Wait, get home? Oh, she gonna beat you right there in the parking lot. And then
I just stay at home.
And shut up.
Do you know how? Let me tell you something. Do you know? She said I grew up in a Christian church, and I.
Church.
She said I grew up in a Christian cult. I ain't go to church. Let me tell you something. I don't know why. Look here. To this day, now I went to a Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade.
Church every day.
I don't know why. And I lived in the South. I don't know why we went to Catholic school. To this day, I don't know why we sat up in Baptist churches for 3-4 hours. I still don't know why. Because I promise you go to a Catholic church,
you ain't out.
11 o'clock, you out at 11:45, 11:50. You pushing a strong 12, maybe they done had a baptism. Okay? You go to a Baptist church starts, first of all,
wait.
Asia said it. They go Asia said it.
Half my family is Catholic, half my family is Baptist. The side I was living with was Baptist, but my mama's side is Catholic. The first time I went to a Catholic funeral, I was so confused how quick it was over. Once we got past all them doggone Hail Marys, because that took a long time.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But after all the Hail Marys, when the thing actually started, I think we was in that church 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna do.
And I was like, wait, that's the funeral? That was the funeral?
Go to a Catholic wedding. The long part of the wedding is the circumstance and pomp of the wedding. It's the bridesmaids, it's whatever else you got walking down the aisle. It's the songs. The Catholic wedding, it's the length of the wedding does not depend upon what the priest is saying to you, because he's going to go through he's going to do that, and that's about 30 minutes from beginning to end. The length of a wedding, even at the Catholic church, is has nothing to do with the actual religious part of the wedding. The length comes from all the stuff you done added. Because if that's the case, you going to Catholic church, you can start your wedding at 12:30. You are at Hardee's about what, 1:15, and you don't went home trying clothes by the time you get done. Asia said
Monday prayer meeting, Tuesday Bible study. Yep, Wednesday choir rehearsal. Thursday women meet. Shut in. Saturday meet. Yep. Hey, you got it. I had to tell
We
you.
went to church every
Right,
day. We had
I
Monday
have
Bible study, Tuesday Wednesday choir rehearsal, Thursday usher board, Friday the money meeting.
Oh yeah,
Saturday we had to come clean the church, and then Sunday was church.
Now, Hood, I have
Don't let
no
it be
idea.
revival season.
Ooh, revival have blessed assurance. You'll be in church 2 or 3 times on Saturday and Sunday. You get up in the morning, think you about to have a good day. It's Saturday, about to eat cereal, about to watch Smurfs.
Not to
Be
say, oh, we have Monday through Sunday was revival.
No, I'm talking about the no, I'm not talking about the stuff we did after class, because during the time when you in school, you ain't got to worry about it. I'm talking about on your Saturday. When you think that's show day, that's the one day you ain't got to do nothing.
Oh no, our revivals was at nighttime. We had night.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about, yeah, right. I ain't talking about going to revival after school. I'm talking about having revival from time you wake up Saturday till 9 o'clock at night. Hey, Shamina.
Hey, Shamina.
Don't have revival. Ooh, don't have, what is it? What is it called? Summer
Vacation Bible school.
Vacation Bible school. Oh, you thought you was out of school doing something.
Get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, you can catch bus and go on to Vacation Bible school.
You thought you was out of school in the summertime. Thought like lit. Thought you poop but shit. Nope. Nope. So yes, all this to say, Hood, I'm gonna go back to Hood, because Hood got me thinking, I don't know for the life of me. At 54, I have no idea why we was in church so long. I don't know, baby. I couldn't tell you I couldn't give you an answer that makes sense. We was in church because
How old were we from birth until about 16, 17?
I don't know. I just did it because I was taught. Because here's the thing. And everybody, and I'm sure there are some exceptions to the rule. But the reality is that as a child, as a young adult, your spirituality is not set in stone. Right now, you have the religion that your parents had. You've been baptized without your consent. You have no idea. You went to church your entire life, even when you're too young to understand what you were doing. Regardless of what you actually feel, because the reality is that religion is personal. It is one of the few things that is 100% yours. Nobody else has to have it. Nobody else has to even understand it. But you have to come to that realization on your own. You have to decide in yourself what you believe in and what works for you, because everything doesn't work for everybody. But as children, especially in the South, that's nothing. I have no problem with somebody being atheist, because the reality is that is how you feel. You never bought into that. You don't believe in the omnipotent and omniscience of one supreme being the end all be all of humanity. And that's fine. That isn't something you grew. That is something you decided. And that's cool. Because what I feel ain't what you feel. The reality is I'm more spiritual than religious, because I did grow up in church, because I did grow up seeing religious leaders doing things that were bad for even just us regular citizens. I grew up seeing pastors cheating on their wives. I don't care whether you cheat on a man. I don't care anything about your homosexuality. I'm gay. So feel free to be as gay as you want. Love the Lord. However, don't cheat on your wife with every choir director you get. And then keep her knocked up and keep her looking miserable so that you can show the church what kind of man you are.
See, I grew up with that. And the reality is the sexual stuff that I grew up with as far as adults did not happen in the Catholic Church. It happened in the regular churches. There was a pastor in one church that his daytime job was, what is it, juvenile, when they juvenile police or whatever. What's that called?
No, corrections officer.
Yeah, he was a correction officer. He dealt with juveniles as far as the legal system. He was like juvenile, something. He was something with kids. He was a pervert trying to holler at kids. He tried to holler at me one time, but I don't see. Here's the thing. My grandmama, rest her little soul. You can ask me whatever you want to, hood. Rest her little, bless her little heart. Told me a long time ago, old men give you worms. Now, some things as an adult, I just laugh at my mama. And I still kind of laugh about the worm thing, but it stuck because as a kid, I'm like, I never did. I was never one of those people who were looking for a daddy. So the old man tried to holler at me. I'm like, no, they ain't got no pills for what you give out, player. Oh, I'm good. But I was 12 and he was in his 40s. So I had to reconcile what I felt with how I was being raised. I wasn't about to go tell. He didn't touch me. But I could, when I became older, I realized that he was trying to holler at me. Just like when I was in the 7th grade and I came into my boobs and my booty in the 7th grade. When I came, 8th grade. When I came back from visiting my mom for the summer, I had lost all my baby fat and I was fine. But I was also 12. And he was a senior in college who always liked to have his arm draped over my shoulder or to help me, even though I was the one they asked to spell all the words because I had no life. So I was a walking dictionary. Don't worry about that. But so all of that, I'm more spiritual than I am religious. I believe that there is something out there. But I don't discount anybody else's religion, not even Wiccan or pagan religions. I don't discount anybody's beliefs because you could be right. Here's the thing. Everybody when they get so stuck and you get so grounded in your one religious belief, how you were raised, you get stuck. But what if you're wrong? What if, not picking on any religion, but what was the church done for the community in the pandemic, and has it been good a return? No, it hasn't. Church has become, let me tell you something. And that's another reason I'm not churchy. I'm spiritual, but I'm not churchy. Because Hood is right. During this pandemic, forget the pandemic. Let's just talk about the normal, everyday, going about our business lives. Do you know how many elderly people who are on their disability and their retirement give all their money to the church and they end up having to beg for food or having to ask their kids or the kids have to keep their lights on or the kids have to make sure that the note on the house is paid if they haven't bought their house already because the church needed it for the pews, the church needed it for the roof, the church needed it for the air conditioner. But I promise you, I was grown by the time there was actually an air conditioner in church that my mama used to go to. But the whole time that I was in church, they was asking for the money for the air conditioner. So unless they was getting a special air conditioner from God that cost a whole lot of extra money, it took a long time to get an air conditioner or a roof or a pew. But the money went somewhere. The money went to someone, but not to the people. Like Bird said, this type of activity still going on in these churches. So if all those so-called Christians clean that shit up, that wouldn't have time. There you go. That's the thing. What gets me is how everybody wants to come at Kirk, but nobody will go at any of the money people. Nobody will go at Joel Osteen, who lives on a compound, while his parishioners are trying to figure out how to keep their lights on. Or T.D. Jakes, who likes to get up and smile about everything he does and goes to his Bentley. Hey, Major. I'll just say Major. And his parishioners on food stamps.
or when Creflo Dollar said that we needed to provide him with a plane so that he could go over to other countries and spread the word of the Lord because the Lord didn't want him to fly Delta. Okay. Well, that sounds like a personal problem. Creflo, last name Dollar. Work with that.
Maybe the Lord wants you to fly American.
First of all, what if I Southwestern? Maybe he wanted to fly Spirit. You know, you pay extra $20, you get one of the big. He could have just got on a Spirit. Hell, he could have probably just bought a Spirit airplane with like $35.99. My bad. I'm sorry, Spirit. No, don't get me. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry, Spirit. Anyway. Spirit sucks. Ass. But it's cheap, but it does. Spirit will have you balled up. Spirit will have you looking like a retarded pretzel. I promise you. You mean a Spirit like this, you get off, somebody got to crack your bones like you got rigor mortis. We want Spirit. I promise you.
Spirit. Y'all been on Spirit?
Look, and you know, so then nobody tell me, because they tell you that you can get like $20 more and you get the, because first of all, when you get on Spirit,
don't ride it.
The same. Yep. Say it one more time, Hood. Say it one more time, 360. Because y'all don't understand. I don't know how many of y'all in this chat are old enough to remember the Honorable Reverend Ike. If he didn't used to be a pimp, or was still a pimp in some form or fashion when he was on TV talking about the Lord told him, I was on my knees today. I was praying because in a dream I saw where the Lord told me that I need to have the new Cadillac Seville that just came out. And y'all gonna help me get it. The Lord want me to have these diamonds, these jewels, live in this house and drive this car, and y'all gonna help me get it. That's the same thing a pimp say to a woman that he trying to get to be one of his women.
That's what Creflo was trying to do, but it didn't work out.
Oh, crap. Joe be doing that stuff too. He be doing it a different way. Because, see, why? A lady is a madam, a dude is a pimp. Well, what do they call the high end? Are they still pimps when they high end pimps? Do they got another name? You know how a madam would be like a madam?
Yeah, the people are escorts.
And what's the name of them people?
It's
another name other than pimp.
It's another name. I can't think of what it is.
But I don't know. It's a madam because you have a female pimp that got hoes. But then you have somebody who has escorts late in the evening. They have a different name. It's sort of like the difference between a gentleman's club and a strip club. You know what I'm saying? Gentleman's club, the boobs don't be all the way out. And they normally fake. In the strip club, it be boobies swinging, just smacking your eye. And y'all hear in the back. Major said Qantas.
Qantas Airline.
Yeah. Oh, Blackbird said everybody named Mama had Red Mike play calls. Yes. Reverend Ike will send you a piece of cloth from the Lord that he had spread his, I don't know what the hell he spread on it because I don't know what he was doing. He prayed over it and it was supposed to bring purveyor of pussy.
What's the preacher that right now will send you a bottle of water?
All of go on TV, and then I'm telling you, all of them got a water bottle or a piece of cloth or some paper. I had one. I was reading one that they had a piece of paper that was a circle, and they would pray on the circle, and then they would send you the circle for $19.95, and you would pray and touch the circle to the TV, and your finances. Peter Popoff should be. Yup.
And the circle on shoot $19.99.
How about you, Benny Hinn? Woo, come on, y'all. Y'all better say y'all know what I'm talking about, because Benny used to have touch your forehead. Hallelujah. Let's touch it. Let's do it again. Hallelujah. Hold on. Feel it up. Hold on. Here he's coming. You, sir. You, sir. You, sir. Come up here. Come up here. And then they would have somebody. Then they roll somebody like my fat ass up there. Hold on. They gonna roll somebody like my fat ass up there that can't walk good, but that should be able to walk. You know what I'm saying? They'll roll somebody like me up there that's, should be able to walk, but for whatever reason I can't. So they're gonna roll me up there. And I'm gonna be up there like, yes, Pastor Henny, yes. Yes, Pastor Henny, yes. Touch my forehead, touch my forehead. Touch it, touch it.
And you're gonna jump up and take running.
And then I'm gonna run around the stage. But they would touch him, and then they would touch him, and then they would touch the one man, and then like 4 men would fall behind him.
Fall out. Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see the one?
That's what happened in Lakewood. He came to Lakewood, and he was touching people, and they was falling out. And my friend ran up there because she wanted to fall out. And then she didn't fall out. And we got outside. She was throwing fits and because it didn't work. You was just supposed to fall. Like,
what didn't work? Well, what else? Oh yes, did y'all see the one?
I know it's just regular water. That's why I said
Amazing Randy. Yep, I remember that.
Regular water. It's tap water. In fact, it ain't even pure.
Matter of fact, it ain't even spring water. He is in his bathroom.
Out the bathroom.
He's filling up him little things in the bathroom. He not even praying over him. He ain't even giving a good. He's not even giving him a good Our Father which art in heaven.
They might be out in the yard with the hose.
That was some good water though. While you playing back in the day, that's some good water. That was some good government water. That water come out that hose. Or for all those.
Hey, that's not good government water today.
Well, not now. Shit, not now. But when I was growing up, I remember back in the day, my grandmama had a faucet. She had a spigot, a faucet out that was on the back of the house, one on the back of the house, and one on the front of the house. And it wouldn't even be a damn hose hooked up to it. Sometimes I just be sitting my ass over there with my head off because the faucet was about that far from the ground. Y'all can see? Yeah, it was about that far from the ground. So I'm young, so I got some young good knees. So I just be I ain't about to go upstairs and in the house. Art thou water?
They call it holy. They call it blessed or something. I don't know.
Blessed oil. Let me tell you what else they'll do. They'll go get some olive oil out of the stove and put it in little things. And that's some blessed oil. They want you to, rub the oil on your house. Rub it across your doors and your windows to keep the spirits out. Rub it on your wallet to keep money in there. How about I don't send you the $49.95 for the blessed oil, and I keep my money.
Yourself. Go to Walmart and get your own Pompeii and do the same thing.
And go to the Catholic Church, and they will bless your oil for free. For free. Go in there, steal a little black. Steal a little holy water. It don't get unholy because you steal it. Don't tell nobody what I said. I don't know if they knew a holy water. Anointed oil. Yes. Woo, hold on. What is that? Oh, yes. Jim and Tammy Faye. Bless their heart. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker. Oral Roberts and Jerry Falwell. At one point, it was like they was back to back. At one point, Jerry Falwell. I think he the one that got up in the pulpit after one of his girlfriends came out, after one of the prostitutes came out and said he'd like to be spanked with a brush or something. So he got up in the pulpit, and I remember this because it was funny to me. You know how, because this whole thing of apologizing after I got caught, not because I felt bad, is old. It ain't nothing new. It's more internet now. But that's apologizing after I done got caught. It's like all the white people that say nigga, and then they get caught, and then all of a sudden they want to apologize because they still want their job on Monday morning. So that's old. But now we got so much internet, so many different ways to get caught. You just get caught there. So Jerry think it's Jerry. I want to say it's Jerry. But one of them, they all had girlfriends, so we're just gonna say Jerry. I remember flipping the channels one night and I hear Jerry after he got busted. You better go anoint her with your auras. You better go anoint her with Johnson and Johnson. Hallelujah. Yeah. It was Jerry, yeah. So I was listening because I stopped because he caught me off guard. Because normally Jerry is doing the preacher thing. But then he was standing up there, so he was just standing there with one hand on the Bible and one hand in the air. And he said, because like, yeah, he like being spanked with a brush. Hey, I like a good smack on the ass myself, but I'm not Jerry Falwell. And I'm not on TV saying, I'm not on TV showing off my wife while I got a whole lot of prostitutes to do. All right. So all of a sudden he says, and this is not a direct quote because it's been about 20 years since I heard it. I have offended my congregation. I am here to apologize because I have offended thee. Like, what you do? I am just a man. Like, I clicked my TV off after that. And then they would show it every now and again. But it was just how he did it. His face was all balled up and he was so sincere with his offendedness and how he wanted to apologize. Right after that, Oral Roberts came on and said, the Lord told me that I need X million amount of dollars. I want to say 130 million. It was some really big number. He said, if you don't give me this amount of money by this date, the Lord is going to call me home. Now, he said it however he said it, but that's what he said. He said, I need this money by this date, and if I don't have it by this date, the Lord said he's going to call me home. So he did not get that amount of money on this date. Now, I'd be damned if he didn't come back and said the Lord gave him an extension. I was like, he said that shit out loud. He said it out loud.
Gonna miss you.
He said out loud, the Lord has seen fit to give me an extension. He has extended my time on the earth, and we need to get this money. I'm sitting there going, the Lord giving out an extension? The Lord is up there handing out extensions now.
I know.
After he called you home.
Right? Oral Roberts was in Oklahoma. I heard that name my whole life.
Oral Roberts. I'm like, because I was grown by then. So I'm sitting there going, by then I was like, whatever. So when he said that shit, I was like, the Lord is giving out an extension? Like the IRS? Giving people a little more time on the earth, huh? I'm sorry, y'all.
Giving y'all more time.
That's what he said. Thank you, Lord. That's what he said. That is what Jerry said. Thank you. He said, I have sinned against God. No, you sinned against your wife. Oh, Angel said, I need to try that extension with my landlord. You can try it. Your landlord gonna say that's God. That ain't me. Angel said I was scared of Tammy Faye's face. I wasn't scared of her face. I was scared of that bitch eyelashes. She put one more drop of mascara on her eyelashes. They was gonna be a whole person unto themselves. She just be sitting up there like this the whole time. I don't know if y'all remember. Oh, Ernest Angel.
He was the originator of the big wings.
They weren't even wings, they were spiders. She looked like she had like several caterpillars sitting on her damn eye. And this the blue whole time. And then they were so bright. y'all remember the chick with the white hair, whose hair was a different shade of pastel every time she came on there? And her husband had white hair that he had poof. Who? Which one was that one?
That wasn't Tammy Faye?
No, there was another one. Tammy Faye had the short hair. Remember? Now back in the day, but
She
Tammy
started
Faye had cut all the hair out.
and stuff
It
too.
was another one. It was another one. I think that the man is still on. Jim Baker still scamming people. He's still
I know
scamming
who you're
people.
talking about. I know
You
who
know
you're
what I'm
talking
talking
about. I
about.
know who it is.
Because
lady.
it was, huh?
Country lady. She was real country.
Yes, because they would be on there, and then she would come out and she would talk about some she building or some project she had, and the Lord, and I would just be sitting up there going, I can't wait for my hair to get gray. So I didn't hear shit she said. I just be watching her hair going, I really want my hair that color. I thought she did. Y'all know Tammy Faye, her eyelashes would be as wide as my finger. Just one eyelash be big as be, and she'd have to do this the whole time because that's her. Woo! Y'all see that hair? Play with it if you want to. She looked like oh shit. She looked like the Super Saiyan character. What's not the Pokemon? What's the other one that Nick used to like? Y'all know, not Pokemon. What's the other one? Somebody help me. Somebody put a picture back up there. Just that one. Y'all know the dude with the spiky hair and he do karate. Come on now, y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh, it's not Pokemon. It's the other anime character that's real popular. They go Super Saiyan, and Nick had it on his wall. But that's a good color. I like that color though. I really want that color. Say what?
But look at her right now. She looks like when YouTuber that be getting in trouble claiming she black or all kinds of stuff.
Is that the same chick?
That's supposedly her, but I swear that's that.
Oh, I remember who you talking about. The one who's
Jan Crouch.
The one who kind of black faces a little bit. Heather said, "Guy scary. That is not Guy. Leave Guy alone. He does food. He ain't said nothing about the Lord." Y'all, Hood said Jim Baker is selling fake COVID cures. Stop it. Naruto, thank you. Hood 360. Thank you. That is who he looks like. He looks like old boy after he done went super saiyan. She look like, he does I don't know what they say. They say something when they about to go. I don't know what they say. I ain't never seen a Barbie doll look. My Barbie dolls did not look like they didn't look like they did not look like what people think Dolly Parton looked like, but she don't look like that. Sorry. Now, I'm going to stop messing with, because my thing is this. Ooh, Jesus. Mm-mm. Hold on. I'm going to put you on the big screen. Hold it up for a second. Hold on. Let me put you up. Wait a minute. There you go. Can y'all see that? Boy, she got a lot of hair on her head, but I like that color, though. Have I did show on this video? Baby, them clips, baby. Let me tell you something. Hey, Raylo, them clips, baby. Whew. Anyway, so let me end Cussin Kirk Franklin with this. Tranny. That's a grown man talking to another grown man. And one of the grown men is his dad. Now, if that man wanted to say whatever the hell he wanted to say to his son, he could say what he wanted to say. His son was rude and disrespectful for recording that part of the conversation. And he was past, I don't know what is past rude and disrespectful when he publicized it so he could make his father feel some kind of way. But Mr. Franklin, you probably won't see this. But if you do, you keep singing your song. You keep praising the Lord. And when you want to cuss out somebody, you cuss them out. Because realistically, you can say what you want to. You grown. The Bible did not tell you anywhere that you cannot cuss out somebody who is disrespecting you, especially your seed. Leave that man alone. Who? Who is that?
She done changed.
That's her.
That's
Oh, how the hell she get her hair laid down? Boy, that plastic surgery is real.
She
It is
took the
real
wig
and
off.
it's strong. Huh?
She took the wig off.
That's hard. She looks so much better.
She
Now she look
does.
like a Barbie doll. I ain't even mad at you. She gonna go get her a real man because her granddaddy. Because he done look like her granddaddy. He done look old a long time, and I thought they was the same age.
Wow, she done changed up.
Oh. Won't he do it? That's I still like that hair color though. Now, that's not Tammy Faye. That's not her name. Tammy Faye Baker's deceased. Tammy Faye is gone.
Yeah, no, this is Jan Crouch.
Yep, that's the Crouches. Tammy Faye Baker's deceased. But, like I said, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Kirk, you sing your songs, you inspire a generation, and you go on doing what you're doing. And whenever you feel like cussing out somebody, do it. Now, on to the other side.
She's gone too. She passed.
Oh, she passed away?
She's gone too.
I think the husband, ain't he still here?
I think so. I'm trying to find what his name is. No, it's Crouch.
Ain't it James or no? That's the singer, black guy. That's not his name. I can't think of his name.
Oh,
now, won't he do it? Sure he will. Now, let us go to the other part. It said sex addiction.
He died before she did.
That's messed. I mean, it's messed up, but I mean, I ain't know that.
Paul Crouch. His name was Paul. He died before she died.
All right. So, earlier this week, I think was it this week or last weekend? Anyway, this young man decided that he wanted to kill people. What were y'all doing last night, Leilani?
Hey, Trey and Nene.
What were y'all doing last night, Leilani?
Trey was being Trey.
Oh.
And I didn't stop him from being Trey. I allowed
Well,
Trey
you know,
to be
Nene needs help sometimes. Rolling him. You know, sometimes you gotta lay hands on Trey. Big Blackbird said, what amazes me about grown-ass kids, you take care of them, give them what they want, what they need as a child, and when they get grown, they feel entitled and want to talk shit to you. Yep.
Yeah.
You're the little boy that had everything he wanted. I bet the little boy didn't need for nothing. Now, I'm not going to say, again, I don't know Kirk Franklin personally. I was not in their house when he was raising their kids, but he was fine for 33 years. How about that? All this happened. A 33-year-old man recorded his father having a grown-up adult conversation with him for the sole purpose of embarrassing him and making him feel some kind of way. That was the only reason. He was not doing it because he was beside himself, because he was verklempt, because he didn't understand. He was doing it because he goaded his father into pissing him off, and he did something so that he could so that he could show the world his daddy ain't the godly man he is. I promise you that's what he said at some point. That's some whole shit. Show is. And in his mind, I'm going to show the world what Kirk Franklin really is. Pow, pow, bang, bang. You going to show Kirk Franklin he a daddy that'll cuss his child out? You sure can. Pick a parent. Pick a parent that cuss and tell me which one ain't told him, sit your ass down somewhere. Knock your ass out. Keep on messing with me. Come on now. Sound like the kind of guy key your car. Kind of guy that'll key your car, that'll bust out your windows. Bitch, yeah, that's some girl stuff. That's all. If let me tell you something. If you hear that somebody car got keyed, do you think male or female? Leilani?
Female.
You think if you hear somebody got their windows bust out, what you think?
Female.
It never dawns on me that a dude will key your car, bust out your windows. Now I ain't gonna say he don't do stuff. I'm just gonna say that's just not. It's just like we were watching some last night, about how these two people had killed their spouses and made it look like suicide. The man killed his spouse in a way that a man would kill himself with a gun. If you look at statistics, statistically, women don't normally commit suicide with a weapon. They either slit their wrists and die quietly. Yeah, they either slit their wrists, get in some tub, and go to sleep, or they overdose on pills. So, but he killed his wife with suicide in a manner that a man would kill himself. Vice versa, the next show had a similar title to where ladies, both her husbands had passed away, and come to find out, she killed the first one with antifreeze, and she tried to make it seem like the second person killed himself with poison. Men very rarely poison themselves. They either shoot themselves or hang themselves. Men are more physical, women are not. So when the two different sexes decided they wanted to kill their spouses, they killed their spouses in a way that a man would commit suicide and a way that a woman would commit suicide. So that's how they got caught. Since all these good church folks know how much, and Judge tell us what was Jesus doing in the time when he was born and died. We only hear about the birth and death of Jesus. I love Kirk. There you go. We had said that earlier.
Yeah, I said
Jesus
that Jesus
was
got
born a man.
that tree for not being, fruitful, and he killed the tree. He cussed that tree.
Jesus was born a child and a man, and then he died, and then he was resurrected as Jesus, the Holy Ghost. He was Jesus the man from his birth to his death. He was susceptible to everything that a man is susceptible to. Lust, temptation, anger, everything. We don't know what Jesus did. And we don't judge him because of what he came to do is what he did. He came to die for our sins. That doesn't mean he didn't sin in the process. That just meant he gave his life so that we would have it better moving forward. You cannot judge a man for his moment. You judge him for his moments. And if he's not cussing everybody out every time you see him, you can't say nothing about the one time because he pissed off. I had a body shop repaired. A lot of key cards always done. Yes, it's just some things we do and some things dudes do. It just is what it is. Some stuff is us, some stuff is them. It just always is. Now, does it mean that is 100% of the time? No, nothing is 100%. But if you think about it, when women commit suicide, they do it in a quiet, calm way. They don't want to wake up, so they don't. Men do it in a little less quiet way. They hang themselves or they shoot themselves. It just is what it is. And it's something wrong with both of them, but it's nothing wrong with that being attached. There's some stuff girls do, some stuff boys do. It is what it is. But so yes. So I'm gonna get off Cussin Kirk because he ain't did nothing wrong. Leave that man alone. Because if anybody in this chat or anybody that sees this replay or anybody on any social media or live stream that wants to talk out about Kirk, if you have not in your mind said, even if you didn't say it out loud, if you have not in your mind one time thought, even for your baby, sit your head down. You don't shut the hell up. How many grandmamas that had to catch themselves when their babies in church showing out? You don't sit your head down. I'm going to snatch you in front of this pastor. Just like that. And went right on back praising the Lord. And the Lord did not stop because it was said. He did not stop blessing the woman or man. He kept going. Because the reality is that nobody knows your heart but you and whoever you believe in. God, Buddha, Allah, nobody. Don't nobody know your heart but you and whoever you believe in. Not even the person that sleeps next to you. Because you know how many times somebody woke up to a stranger? So please stop having all these intense feelings of disgust and reprehension because Kirk told him he beat his motherfucking ass. Because at that moment, that's what Kirk would have did had they been in the same room and not on the phone. He would have snatched him because that's his son. He made that. That's his DNA. That's his sperm with legs walking around. Y'all can't tell him what to do and or say to it. This other particular situation, I'm a little more mad about, a little more upset about. I'm really ain't upset about Kirk because Kirk can hold his own. He a grown ass man, and he did what he did, and can't nobody take away his accomplishments or everything he's done just for like 10 seconds of cussing out his grown ass son who shouldn't have recorded it in the first place. I said sex addiction for a reason. I'm going to start this off with this. I know that you can be addicted to just about anything. Hell, I'm addicted to chapstick. Made my wife go out and buy me some more. Next time I make an order for Walmart, I'm going to put about 13 different chapsticks in there because I like a variety.
I'm addicted to Carmex. I need to order some.
This is EOS, but she got me some Carmex. It's over there too. I do EOS and Carmex, but I do a little bit of the other one. What's the other one? It's not a brand name. Chapstick has one that's more like EOS, but it's actually smoother than the EOS. I got it in a thing over there. If I figure out the name, I'll send it to you. But anyway, I'm addicted to Carmex. When I was in rehab and when I first hurt my leg, I was addicted to fishdom. Leilani know. Let me tell you how addicted to fishdom I was. Let me tell you how much fishdom got me through when I thought I couldn't get through. I had finished the game. I'm just now playing the levels because there are no more fish tanks. I have done all the fish tanks in the whole game. And I've only been playing the game since June. So I was addicted to fishdom. Still a little addicted to play. I got
way past. I ain't nowhere near least.
I'm on level 7,582, something like that. I have made every fish tank that you can do in fishdom. I have done. I am now to when they hit the little fish tank at the bottom, it says coming soon. Okay. At one point, I had played so much and didn't have to buy nothing. I had almost $2 million in fishdom money. But they opened up another. Fish tank, so I use that money for that fish tank. Now I'm building my stash back up because I don't have any more fish tanks left. I'm sure you can be addicted to sex. I'm positive you can be addicted to sex. Really am. Sure you can. And anybody who is, I hope you get help for that. Earlier this week, a young man decided to get in his car and drive to 3 separate, let me say this again, not 3 massage parlors that were right next to each other. He decided to drive to 3 separate businesses and shoot as many and kill as many Asian people as he can. He ended up killing 6, and I think he killed the other 2 were white, I think. But he ended up killing 8 people altogether, 6 of which were Asian. His excuse was he had a sex addiction. No, this was the excuse that the police officer gave, a statement that he said out loud on camera into a microphone for everybody to hear, that he had a sex addiction and he was having a bad day. Now, everybody wants to debate whether or not it was a hate crime and whether or not it was racially motivated. Now, if you have an addiction to anything and you're having a bad day and you feel like the addiction is just too much for you to handle, normally you take your own life. You OD, you take too many of the drug, whatever. If your addiction is gambling, you gamble all your money away. You hurt yourself in some way, because an addiction basically is a form of, it's almost a form of self-punishment when you're addicted to something to the point where you are hurting yourself. But at the end of the day, your addiction affects you personally and your family and people around you in your circle residually. That's who it affects. You strange person that I don't know. Well, yeah, at least they didn't do that. You strange person that I don't know. Your addiction does not affect me. His sex addiction does not affect me. He's in Atlanta. Trey and Nene, it might affect you in some way. However, since y'all in Atlanta, but it doesn't affect you directly. It just affects the fact that this happened in your backyard. Your personal addiction does not affect the world at large unless you do something that has nothing to do with your addiction. Something like going to different massage parlors and killing the masseuses who happen to be of Asian descent, because that's the massage parlors you went in because they made you want to have sex. So if you were having a bad day, why are other people dead? Shouldn't you be the one dead? Shouldn't you have tried to commit suicide? Shouldn't you have tried to end your suffering? It's personal. Hey, ATL. Want to blame others? Yep, like they did with Chart. Yep. So my issue is not with at some point it'll come out that he had skinhead ties or white supremacist ties, or it's somebody, he grew up in a family. Somebody's going to come out that he does have racial issues. You know that, because the reality is, if realistically you have an issue with sex, why would you go kill people at a massage parlor when you ain't having sex with them? Why you ain't killing prostitutes? Why you ain't go to the strip club? Was it because you associate Asian, because not social media, but because society has sexualized Asian women so much that you can't help yourself? That you had to go to the place where it is more likely for you to have an Asian masseuse than, say, a white girl or a black girl? You have a sex addiction. When I think of masseuse, I don't think it's
sex addiction and an Asian fetish. That's the only way he can put the two together, because it don't make sense.
It's got to be the only way. It's got to be the only way. Because if you have a sex addiction and you are sexually active, you are actively thinking about sex, not about a massage. Because even if you get a happy ending, which Good just said, even if you get a happy ending, it does not, you don't go in there. There's no list. There's nothing on the board behind the desk at the massage parlor that says happy ending. There's nothing on that price list that says suck a dick or get some pussy. None of that. I'm sorry about my language, but that's what I'm feeling right now, because I am tired of the excuses that we give when somebody who is not a person of color commits a heinous crime. I am tired of the ridiculous fucking excuses. They are not even making up good excuses anymore. It was the police chief that said out his mouth, out loud, in front of cameras and microphones for everybody to hear, that he was having a bad day about his sex addiction, which is why he killed 8 people. 8 people did not make it home to their kids and their family. 8 people are dead. He didn't pluck 8 flowers. He didn't even kill 8 puppies. He tried to kill as many human beings as he can because his dick don't know no better. So that's what we're saying right now. That we don't even make up good excuses when somebody walks into somebody's place of business and opens fire. We don't even make up good excuses when somebody walks into a church or a synagogue and opens fire. We don't even make good excuses when somebody walks into a theater or a school and opens fire and kills people. We don't even make good excuses anymore. We just say dumb shit to come to our mind. 8 people did not make it home. 8 people who kissed their loved ones goodbye in the morning and thought that they would be able to kiss them goodnight didn't. There are 8 families scrambling to bury their loved one. There are 8 sets of parents crying about the loss of their child. There are 8 sets of children crying about the loss of their parents. There are 8 sets of siblings crying about the loss of their sibling. And there is one white dude who decided that his sex addiction, which I don't fucking believe in, was more important.
Men and women.
He killed men too?
He killed men too. So you're addicted to sex of Asians being sex. Rinse.
We wonder why people wonder why we protest. People wonder why we get upset. People have these notions as to why we kneel and why we raise our fist and why we lift our voices. This is why. This is why. 8 families. As soon as his classmates said he was super religious and didn't even cuss, I said, I bet there's going to be some deep sexual issues tied to religion. Probably. Probably. The Bible and religion has been used to justify atrocities for centuries. They use the Bible to justify slavery. They use the Bible to justify pedophiles and child molesters. They use the Bible to justify adultery and back when men were allowed to beat their wives. It wasn't against the law. Some places, if you check on the books, now that's, I'm in my class. When I get off here, I got to finish my homework. I got about 15, 20 more minutes to jog. I got to finish my homework. The Bible has been used to justify every atrocity.
People, I think the crime decision needs to be made by someone other than the normal people that's there. Like, that need to be sent somewhere else. It was sexual, so that wasn't a hate crime. He killed men and women.
I'm about to come up. Yeah, that. When you specify, when 6 of the 8 people who were killed were of Asian descent, yes, it was based on their race. But I'm about to come up close, and I'm about to say this. Religion has been used forever to justify the bad things that people do. From slavery to the witch trials in Salem, where women who weren't married, older spinster women who lost their husbands and never remarried, women who used herbs and teas to make people feel better were considered witches. They used the Bible for that. They used the Bible to tell us why they had the right to have slaves and do what they did to the slaves. It's not just to own the slaves, but to treat them in the manner in which slaves were treated. They used the Bible for that. They used the Bible for why they had to steal the land from the Native Americans. They used the Bible during the Crusades. Let us not forget about the Crusades. We like to talk about other religions, Muslims and other religious wars, but we forget about the Crusades. And anytime you had a differing opinion than a religious leader, you were a heretic and you had to go. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this like I say this about Married at First Sight. Stop bringing the Lord. I ain't got nothing. Hood, let me tell you something, Hood. I had no friends growing up, so all I did was read. And I read about everything. And yeah, because my thing is this. And I'm going to tell you, and let me tell you why I read about the Crusades. Stupid reason. It's not a stupid reason, but the odd reason why I read about the Crusades. One of the first books I ever read was Dracula, by the way. That's the first horror movie I ever saw. It was the old Dracula, not the new one, but the old Dracula. And when the new one came out and it got a little more in depth, you realize that the subject, Count Vlad Tepes, was a part of the Crusades. And he was called the Impaler because he would decapitate the people that he killed, put the heads on spikes to make sure that the heathens and the barbarians knew of the love of the Lord. And this is what happens if you don't love him. I was the coolest nerd ever. Yup. I didn't know I was a nerd or cool until I got to be an adult, but I'm with you on that, Hood. So that's why I happened to go back and read about the Crusades again because of Dracula. So
Here, cool.
Huh? Neither here nor there, but that's why. This, and I call him a young man because he's a young man. I'm not going to call him a boy because he knew what he was doing. He did not lack the knowledge of right and wrong. He knew that it was wrong to get a gun and kill people, but he did it anyway. This is why we kneel. This is why we raise our voice. This is why we raise our fists. And this is why we don't understand why people don't understand what we see. He said he had a bad day. A bad day is flunking a test. A bad day is stubbing your toe. A bad day is a flat tire. A bad day is being a bartender and not getting a tip. A bad day is losing your wallet, losing the keys to your car, being late for work. That's a bad day. A bad day is not you using the word addiction to justify your inhumanity. A bad day is not getting a gun and shooting at random people because your dick get hard when you see them. A bad day is not having 8 families and peripherally the entire world feeling some kind of way because your dick got hard. Because at the end of the day, if you want to use your sex addiction, the reality is you got mad that your dick got hard. Because you looked at the women. Because they offered you a massage. Because they sexualized Asian women to their teeth. Because you can't handle your attraction. That's not a bad day. That's a bad person. What sits on my booty bone and make it itch to where I can't reach it is when people say, oh, he just had a bad day, but he's a good person. He's not a good person. He's not a good person. The dude who shot up the church is not a good person. The dude who shot up the theater is not a good person. The guy who shot up the gay pride is not a good person. The guy who shot up the concert is not a good person. And understand, you hear what I'm saying? And none of these people, one person died. All that killing, only one person died that was doing the shoot. The theater shooter is still alive. The church shooter is still alive. The massage parlor shooter is still alive. The boys who started Columbine still alive, I think. Or did they get shot that day? Now that's who will get killed. The kids who shoot up school. And that shows you how much they shouldn't have their hands on a gun. Because in Ruck, their daddy wouldn't have got killed. He would have dropped the gun and sat down. Sandy Hook. These people who have lost their children and their spouses and their wives and their mothers and their sisters and their cousins and every day they wake up and they are living the loss of someone. And all you can say is, at heart, they're good people. They're not. They're not. They're fucking not. They're not good people. They're not going to be good people. They are what you assume a monster would be. That is what these people are. And I'm not just talking about racially. But let's take it there for a second. Let's stop telling this I don't see color lie. Let's stop telling this it's not about race lie. Let's stop saying that racism is dead lie, because all of that's a lie. He went to kill Asian masseuses, and that's what he did. The little boy walked into a black church where they welcomed him to kill black parishioners, and that's what he did. They walked into a gay pride, into a club during Pride where it was nothing but gay people, to kill as many as gay people as they could, because that's what they wanted to do. That's what they did. They saw race, they saw ethnicity, they saw sexuality, and they saw it, and they hated it, and hated it, and that hate was so deep, and it was so strong, and it was so much that they shot out of bullets, shot out of guns. And it ended lives. But it not just ended lives, it destroyed the living. They destroyed the living. And we're cool with that. Because we'd rather say racism is dead than to see what we can do to kill it. That's the problem. They would rather say racism is dead than to find a way for it to actually die. Who said that's why Colin Kaepernick
They're making sure not to put his name out. I know that.
Huh?
They're making sure not to put his name
His
out.
name's not out yet. Flag. Yes, you're correct, Big Bird. Not Big Bird. My bad, Blackbird. And Hood. My ex is Asian. She hated to be objectified first as a woman, then as an Asian. She's correct. Women are sexualized as children. As babies.
I tell Ray
Women are sexualized from birth.
the little clothes that they make for little girls now. The fact that if your child is in school, she can't show her knee, she can't show her shoulder, her sleeves can't be too short, her dress can't be too tight, because they're sexualizing a 6-year-old, and then a 10-year-old, and then a 12-year-old. Instead of teaching your sons
Causing a distraction.
to not touch them, you would make them be a distraction and it be their fault. Women are sexualized from birth. And then when something happens to them in a sexual manner, that's not what happened. That's not what I meant. But he took that shit to the next level. He didn't just touch someone. He didn't just assault someone. He didn't just rape someone. He took their life. He took everything. He took everything. But when he took their life, he took the lives of the people that loved them. But he also took some of our life. Do y'all not get that? Do y'all not get that even though it didn't happen to you personally, that you should feel some kind of way? Because what if that's the day that you decided to take your girlfriend to get a massage? And she just happened to look Asian? Or what if that was the day you decided to go to church that you don't normally go to, but you said you were going to go because, it's not Sunday, it won't be crowded, I'm going to go today. What if that was that day? Or what if this was your first pride and you decided you're going to have fun? I came out, so I'm coming out. We should feel that. The burden is always put, yes, Hood, the burden is always put on the women. It's our fault. There are going to be people, and trust me, somebody has said this, well, they shouldn't have been working there. They shouldn't have put themselves in that position. They shouldn't have been there in the first place. Huh?
One of the women that was killed was a customer. Her and her husband were there,
right,
taking a break from their new baby.
Like I said, what if? That's why I said we should feel it every time this shit happens to somebody. Not just of color, anybody. We should feel it when we see somebody killed at a traffic stop. We should feel that. We should feel when an adult wrestles a 7-year-old child to the ground to handcuff them like they're another adult. We should feel that. We should feel when someone gets a gun and goes to 3 different places to make sure he can create maximum damage. We should feel that, because what's the statement? But for the grace of God. Because each and everything I said, it could have been you. It could have been me. We should feel that. We should feel it every time a mother loses a son to a gun, to a bullet. Cops shot into a car that a dude who was going to carjack this lady, her son was shot in the head. Her baby, he was what, 2? 1, 2, how old was he, Leilani? You know what I'm talking about? She was pumping gas. They chased this boy. He jumped in this girl's car, and they shot into the car where her baby was and hit her baby in the fucking head.
Yeah.
We should feel that. And I'm not just talking about the police. I'm talking about anytime. When the video of that young man, who every time I see that shit, I cry because he reminds me of Nick. When the video of that young man being chased into that bodega and chopped down like he was nothing, And he ended up being the wrong person, not even the person they were looking for. Every time I see that little boy, every time I hear how nobody wanted to help him, how he had to drag himself because nobody would help him. Every time I see a picture of his mama leaning over his dead body because nobody would fucking help him, I feel that because that could be Nick. And then what y'all gonna do? Get on here and tell me how sorry you are? We have got to stop thinking shit ain't gonna happen because it ain't happened yet. I never thought that I would be in a wheelchair until I was like 80 or 90. And then that was only because I don't feel like walking, not because I can't walk. I never thought that I would fall downstairs. I never thought that I would be in the situation that I'm in, but I'm in it. So we need to feel this shit. And that's what needs to happen. And people with money needs to feel this shit. And we need to realize that we need to stop taking this shit for granted. Because it ain't happened to us yet. Remember, there's always a yet. For every but, there's a yet. It ain't happened to you yet. But it could. Yes, I remember you talking about that, ATL. We should feel this. But the problem is we keep having to feel shit. Because instead of people using their words, instead of people using their righteous indignation correctly, they pick up a gun, or they pick up a bomb, or they go on social media and they harass somebody till they kill themselves. We should feel this. I felt that mama when she was crying over her baby. I still tear up right now because I felt that. I felt George Floyd's mama, and she was dead. I felt when he said, "Mama, help me." Hold on, I'm about to make you big, Leilani. I don't even know how to make you big. That's him. Robert Aaron Long. That's his name. Make sure y'all remember that face. Make sure his name gets out there. Make sure his shame is worldwide and forever. What? Remember that face, because guess what, y'all? He looked like everybody else that has done that. I felt George Floyd when he called for his mama. I felt that in my heart, in my spirit. I felt that. And I wanted lightning to strike the man who was on his neck. I wish death upon the man. And I don't do that often. Because I believe in karma. I believe what you put out comes back. I wish something would have struck him or hit him or something. But it did. And he killed that man. Hey, Deanna. Every time I see somebody putting their hands on a child, I feel that. Because I have a child. And one day I'll have grandkids. And there are kids out there that I love. We should all feel it. It's nothing wrong with you feeling it. Because maybe one day the right people start feeling it. And we'll start actually doing something about it. Racism is not dead. It is alive and well. And it permeates our every fiber of our existence. It is alive and well in America. It is alive and well across the world.
People are disrespected for the way they talk, for the way they look, for the way they eat, for the way they dance, for the way they worship, for the way they don't. When Harry and Meghan, and Meghan is like me, she's biracial. Mother's black, father's white. When she came out saying how she felt about being in the palace and a part of the aristocracy and the royalty of England, oh, how could she feel that way? She's a princess. Oh, they wouldn't do that. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? We got to stop thinking that they wouldn't do that. I'm not talking about the police, because the reality is that is few and far between. But because they do it so recklessly, and they do it, when they do it, it just seems like they're doing it all the time, every day. They're not. And there are exponentially more good police officers than there are bad. It's just that nobody publicizes the good. And when they do, the first thing people say is, oh, y'all just want us to forget the shit y'all did. Well, this person they're publicizing didn't do it. How about we reward this person who does something good, and we actually discipline the person who did something bad? Can't have it both ways. You can't ignore the discipline and then be mad when somebody do good. We have to start realizing that what can happen to someone else. Yeah, you might coming above. I mean, said that I pulled over just to type it. Okay. How far up I gotta go, Asia? Hold on. Oh, I see. Hold on. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on. All right. I'm driving, but I had to pull over just to type. Racism is far from over. This has been reconfirmed by Meghan Markle and Piers Morgan and Sharon Osbourne. Racism is getting more real. Or is she back to driving? It is. The reality is with that is that you say something like, whatever. But then all of a sudden you want to backtrack when you realize that what you said had your ass unemployed.
What it is, it's not that it's real, it's more visible.
Huh?
I said it's not that it's more real, it's more visible. People see you now. And they're recording you now. And they're putting it out what you said.
Hood, what you disagree with? I'm from a cop family. Realistically, on the whole, I don't have anything problem with the cops, because if I need one, I'm gonna call one. I'm not just gonna not call one, but I know when to call one. I'm not gonna call one because my wife is having a psychotic episode. I'm gonna call the damn the EMTs and tell my wife's having a psychotic episode. I done calmed it down, but somebody needs to come get her ass. Yes, okay, I see what you're saying. You're correct. You're right. You're 100. I'm with Hood said you can't claim that you're good when you turn a blind eye and don't speak up on the bad cops. You're correct. But that's sort of like anything else. The reality is that when they do speak up, they ain't cops no more. Because at the end of the day, they gonna rally around each other. Here lies the problem. That's the problem with humanity. We don't rally around each other. When the cops shit pop off with the cops, even the ones that don't do nothing, turn a blind eye because you don't turn your back on your brothers and your sisters. That's just not how we are in reality. It's just not how it is in reality. In reality, we'll turn our back, snitch, fuck that hoe. That wasn't me. That's just how it is. But that's not how it should be. Sorry, myself itching. You're right. The police should police themselves. There should be cops going, dog, don't do that shit no more. I'm gonna arrest your ass. But think about it. Most of the old guard was at the top levels. So you report your partner, and all of a sudden you in another district, or you ain't got no job for no reason. It's easier to ignore something and say it doesn't happen than to fix it. Nobody wants to be that first person to take that leap. Nobody wants to be that first person to take that step because you're scared of what's going to happen to you. But sometimes you just got to feel it. They don't feel it. And it's not until they feel it. But by the time they feel it, yep, black cop showing out for the white cop. Yep. But it's not until they feel it. But then it's too late. It's too late when black cop is your son that's being pulled over and pistol whipped. It's too late, black cop, when your daughter is being arrested and then, oops, commits suicide all of a sudden in jail. It's okay. It's too late when it's your son that is getting his neck stepped on for 10 minutes. It's too late. It's too fucking late for you to feel something, for you to feel it. Don't feel it then. Don't come to me just because your kid got dead when the 3,000 other ones that got dead before yours might have saved your son. Hear me. If you'd have spoke up, maybe your baby wouldn't be in the position that everybody else's kids are in. You're right. But haven't enough happened for change to start happening? Silly Mommy for Life said, unfortunately, things have to happen for change to happen. But hasn't enough happened? Hasn't enough sons and daughters died? Hasn't enough sons and daughters been hurt? Hasn't enough happened? Hasn't enough happened for you to stop ignoring what is blatantly in your face? Hasn't enough happened for change to happen? You can't just keep saying it doesn't exist because it's 2021. Guess what? It existed in 2020, in 2019, 2018. And if we keep going the way we're going, it'll exist in 2022. It is all real and it affects us all. I am not making light of anyone's addiction. Let me say that. Sex, gambling, drugs, alcohol. I am not making light of anyone's addiction. I think that certain addictions are convenient when you want to give an excuse for what you do. But I make light of no one's addiction because I've had family members that have been alcoholics and drug addicts. I don't know if they sex it, because that ain't never came up in conversation. Might have had some of them too. But when it's an excuse to kill people, your sex addiction is irrelevant. It's just an excuse. An addict, let me tell you what an addict doesn't realize. An addict doesn't realize the pain he's causing. An addict still drinks even though his children don't have enough food to eat because he doesn't understand that. An addict still shoots up even though the last 3 kids she had were born addicted because the addiction is greater than the reality. However, if you can tell me that the reason you killed 8 people was because you had a sex addiction, did you really have an addiction? Or did you need a reason as to why you killed 8 people of Asian descent, 6 of them because your dick got hard. This is unacceptable. Racism, bigotry, prejudice, bias is alive and well, and it is universal, and it is all over the world. It reaches everywhere. You have places where black and white people don't even mix because there's never been one or the other in the place. You have entire generations growing up thinking that everything was invented by white people, when in reality, it wasn't. And I'm not saying they didn't invent things. I'm saying they didn't invent everything. And every now and again, you hear about one or two things that was invented or patented by a slave. But you don't hear about all the things that you touch that you wouldn't have until we get the short month. And then we try to squeeze all the knowledge into that month. And then after that, it's gone. Every time a mother has to cry over a child that they lost because someone decided that their addiction or their philosophy or their culture or whatever word you want to use is more important than somebody else's life. Tears don't care. The pain in the heart doesn't care. Just like you didn't care about taking that life. We don't care about why you did it. Could addiction, mental health demons is no excuse for bad behavior. If you're out of control, you need to check in. Yep. The tears that people who love lost loved ones cry do not care. The pain that parents feel when they bury their children does not care. The parents who can't go on because they've lost some child to violence doesn't care. The children who don't have their parents anymore because you were having a bad day, they don't care. All they know is they can't hug their mom. They can't play with their dad. They can't bug their little sister, their big brother, their big sister. They don't care about your bad day. They don't care about your sex addiction. They don't care about your racism. All they know is that you've taken something away that can never be replaced. And all you have is an excuse. You don't even have a real reason, just an excuse. None of these killers, none of these white supremacists, neo-Nazis, cops, sex addicts, mentally ill, whatever. They don't even have good reasons. They just have excuses, and they're not even good excuses. Good. I have anxiety, depression, and severe ADHD. That does not give me the justification to be an ass. I have to be right. Yeah, slavery is actually still legal in a lot of places, y'all. It's very hard to get a law off the books, by the way. That's why they have Constitution and the amendments to the Constitution, because it's very hard to get a law off the books. It's still illegal to be black in some places, but you cannot enforce these laws because they're against things like civil rights and things like that. So it's very hard to get a law off the books. There's still laws in some counties where you can beat your wife as long as you beat her with something that's not bigger than your thumb. Okay, so these are the laws. Hear what we're saying. That it's, it's still legal to have slaves in Tennessee, and four Republican congressmen wanted to vote for the slavery, not against it. I don't know why, because it was abolished. So, but age is correct. There are so many laws on the books that you cannot. Oh yeah. It's still illegal in some places, and I know in Alabama, and I'm sure in Georgia, Mississippi, and Louisiana, there are still places where there are laws on the books saying black people can't be out after dark. Jim Crow understand, when you hear people talk about Jim Crow laws were laws that were established right after slavery, so they continued to enslave black people as much as they could. There are sundown laws, which means you cannot be in a certain city or a certain county after sundown if you're black, because they legally can kill you. They can legally put you in jail or lynch you. Look up Jim Crow laws. Y'all know half the states. Yep. Hood says half the states don't have minimum ages for marriage. And you're correct. That is why a 14-year-old girl can legally marry a 50-year-old man in places like Alabama, Florida, Georgia, all these. The South is a bitch. Don't play with it. Yeah. It's not illegal for you to marry a 12-year-old and you're 40. So yeah. Yep. Usually pregnant 12, 13, 14 by an adult. Yep, they'll go get married. Because, and do you know the things that I've heard why a grown-ass woman will give her child to a grown man who has impregnated her by rape? Because that's essentially what it is. Well, at least he'll be there for the baby. He can take care of my daughter. But let me tell y'all something. And it's about to sound funny, because it is a little funny. But y'all know how I feel about Nick. I wish a bitch would come knock on my door and be 40 years old, come to see my 16-year-old son. First of all, baby gonna run. If y'all ain't never seen her run, let her videotape that shit. Because if I hit that door and I say, bitch, what? She's running, because she knows that it's about to go down. Because I'm gonna even warn her. I'm like, look, he ain't going nowhere with you. And if you don't leave my doorstep, I'm gonna call the police on your ass and charge you with statutory rape. Okay? Now I'm trying to do this the proper way. I'm trying to give you a chance to save your life. Because how you come in this house? You going out feet first, player? And he think he grown to 16. My 12-year-old son? I can't imagine the kind of damage I would have did on my 12-year-old son. I can't imagine the havoc I would have wreaked on a teacher and my 12-year-old son. There was a teacher not so long ago saying that it was the child's fault that she had sex with him so much. He did it. She didn't do it. It was his fault because he sent her a picture of his little 12-year-old dick. Now, I have not seen a real penis in a very long time, except on TV. And I don't think I've ever seen a 12-year-old one, because I stopped looking at I stopped, just walking in on Nick while he was, before he got double digits on his age. Wanted to give him a little bit of his own privacy. I wanted to not, I didn't need to see his penis anymore. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was there. I made it, so I was good. Didn't need to see it no more. So I haven't seen the 12-year-old one at all. But I'm almost 100% positive that there's nothing sexually arousing about a 12-year-old penis when they don't like to take a shower. So, this lady said he was sending her pictures of his penis. I think she said something else, but I will say penis because we're talking about a child.
It was his fault. He lured her into the sex. I won't even drink behind a 12-year-old. Or I drink behind my son. But my cousins and them, they still got backwash. The Bible says if you are raped, the man has to pay your father to marry you. Both of y'all supposed to be put to death. And he said, sounds like an episode of Law and Order SVU. Yes, it's a bunch of, let me tell you something. Let me tell you about the double standards of the world. This is when double standards are crazy as hell. If you are a male child and you are raped and molested by a woman, she will get exponentially less time than if the situation was reversed and it was a female child and a man. However, once that is an adult, then the women have no more autonomy with their body, because then when you become an adult and you were raped or sexually assaulted, then it was because of what you had. Hold on, I can't see. Hold on, I gotta make it bigger. Hold on, I'm making you bigger.
In California and Mississippi, parental consent, any age child, a newborn can get married with parental consent.
Ain't that about a bitch?
California. And all them.
Now they made it. Oh, they made it 15. Oh no, 14. Now they made it 15 or 14. Hold on a minute. 14. Hold on, what color is that?
Which state are you looking at?
Shit, I'm trying to see Alabama, Georgia, Florida. They all the same color.
All right, let me see.
Is that 15?
16 with consent.
Okay. They moved it up. Y'all forget I'm old, because when I was younger, it used to be 14 for the girl, 15 for the boy. Without consent. Now they moved it up. I'm glad they did that. Well, what is Virginia? What? The legal age.
16.
16?
16 with consent, 18 without.
Now, because when I was growing up, it was 14 and 15 in Alabama. I just happened to look it up because I just wanted to know. Because when mama said something about me getting married, I told her I wasn't never going to get married. And I just wanted to see what the age was. Yeah. That was back in the day. But yeah, so, and that's crazy. That's the double standard that kills our kids. Because you're a boy, you're supposed to be able to handle having sex with an adult. What? Because he's a boy, a woman is too stupid to ignore his little young ass. Tell his mama to tell him to stop sending pictures of his dick on her phone. Because she's a woman, she's not smart. What is the reason? You can get married at 14, but you need permission. You can get married without permission at 15 or 16, just depending on where you are. Yeah.
But you can't drink.
Right. I was 16 hooking up with my 48-year-old teacher. I'm no worse for wear, but I can see it could be damaging for son. Hood, let me tell you something, baby. You think you are no worse for wear? And you may be, but the reality is a 16, and you're not a kid, but a 16-year-old young man and a 48-year-old woman have absolutely positively nothing in common except for your dick might get hard again faster than somebody who's her own age. That's the only thing y'all got in common. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing, absolutely, positively, nothing else. I don't give a shit if y'all are the same ethnicity, race, culture, background. There's nothing a 16-year-old got in common with a 48-year-old woman. Nothing. Except your dick could get harder quicker than somebody than a man that's 48 years old. That's it. That's it. But 16 is just, you can't, I don't think my son or my daughter, I don't think any child, I think that you need to be with people your own age. That's just reality. There's nothing in common. There's no common ground. There's nothing y'all can talk about, do, or discuss. There's nothing. You're fucking. That's all y'all doing. Y'all are not having these deep conversations because you don't have anything to bring to the table at 16.
I love my
I
son.
mean,
He has deep thoughts, but he has nothing to bring to the table.
in Massachusetts, they make it different in girls. In Massachusetts, a boy with parental consent 14, a girl 12.
I told you. Massachusetts just ain't changed them laws. That's how it used to be all over. That's how it used to be everywhere. It was always a lower age for the girl, a higher age for the boy, and it was always some bullshit under 16.
So I guess like you can't have my boy; he's too young, but you can take her.
You can take this little girl. Because even in America, we laugh and joke about laws and cultures in other places where they just marry off their daughters and they sell off their daughters. But the reality is America is not much better when it comes to the sexual difference in families. America's not much better. You have people that put clauses in their will saying if you don't have a boy, you can't get this money. I don't want to give my money to somebody who's going to change the name. I need somebody who going, if you don't have no boys, you can't. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Every situation is different, hood. And while you may have been fine, you had to live as an adult. You were living on your own, had your own life. You had to live as an adult. You had to grow up faster. But I'm telling you some good shit. I don't want mine to grow up faster because that adult shit ain't no joke. It's not a joke, and you can't go back. Once you grown, you grown. At whatever age you are. Once you grown, you gone. If you done had to grow up and take care of your family because your mama a crackhead, you grown. You can't go backwards. If you done had to grow up and take care of your family because your daddy an alcoholic, you can't go backwards. It just is what it is. Once you grown, you grown. So maybe because you were in a situation, you having sex with a 48-year-old woman was not the same as in a different situation because you were living on your own. You were an adult. You were an adult. So you did adult shit. But you shouldn't have had to, baby. And I don't know why you were living on your own at 16. I don't know why you were doing everything on your own at 16, but you shouldn't have had to. And that's my point. As parents, we try to protect our children from everything. And sometimes we can't, but we try. Yeah, we try to protect our kids. We try our best. And I want Nick to be a kid and do kitty shit for as long as he can. Because let me tell y'all something, this grown-up adult shit is some bullshit. It is some bullshit. It is misery mixed on top of garbage, mixed on top of bills, on top of trying to figure out how to feed, clothe, educate, just make sure they survive. And I want him to wait as long as he possibly can, baby. I'm sorry you couldn't wait till the last minute to be grown. And that's another problem we get. Making our kids be grown-ups and having to do grown-up shit when they shouldn't. Well, you know what, hood, let me tell you something. From just speaking to you on this little time on here, while I'm sorry you had to go through all that, you just had to leave, you couldn't take it no more. I feel like you did a pretty good job with yourself. Like I said, like I told about Kirkland, I don't know your life, but when the way you speak, and I'm sure you got shit issues that bother you, but you sound like all of us do. But you sound like you did pretty good for yourself. So while I wish you were 16 as long as you could possibly be 16, I ain't gonna mess with you about your old ass lady girlfriend, okay? Ain't gonna mess with you about old 48-year-old, because you know my grandmama said old people give you worms. Just wanna make sure you ain't got no worms. I don't know how long the worms last. I don't know how old you are right now. I don't know how the worms last.
Put a turpentine on your navel and get rid of them worms.
Say what? Wait, country. What
Turpentine
trash shit did you just say, Leilani?
You put turpentine X on your navel. You got to use this finger because this finger poison. You put the turpentine on this finger and you put an X on your navel, and that'll get worms.
Okay, for everybody who had sex with old people when y'all was young, go get some turpentine and use. Is it this finger you said? Fuck you, finger.
This finger. This is poison. This finger.
Wait.
This finger's poison.
What country shit is that? What in the country ass? I got chicken in my bedroom. Shit is this finger poison? The fuck?
This finger poison. You this.
I could. You have to use. Thank you, Hood. Wait.
Every time I used to be in my papa's when I come in the house to go get the turpentine. Go get that turpentine worms out there in that dirt.
Hood said I'm 49 and worms should drown up. Well, shit. If you do the way Leilani do, you gotta use the fuck you finger to do it anyways. Leilani said, hold on. Wait. I have to bring myself back. Hold on. Oh, whoops. Okay, hold on. Leilani said this one is poisonous. Maybe that's why when we was young, Mama said, don't be pointing no goddamn body.
You can do this, but you can't use his finger.
Wait. This is the poison finger.
That was the poison.
I don't know.
I'll have to ask Papa. I'll ask Papa and then I'll let y'all know.
Wait.
How come you couldn't use this finger for turpentine? I'm asking.
She said, get your voodoo.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
My granny wasn't Geechee though. I'm Geechee. My granny wasn't Geechee.
Wait a minute.
She was half white and half black.
I can't breathe. First of all, wait a minute. Hood said he 49. Them worms been dried up. So he said them worms been dried up. But even if they not, Okay. I'm done. Woo! I'm back. Whew. All right. I'm out here going 2.5 hours. Gotta get off. Fingers in the chat. Make sure. Oh, I'm about to die. A little bit. I can't breathe.
Okay, no, not that finger.
This one. Fuck you, finger. The only finger you can use when you want to put on okay. All right. Whew, I've been out here almost 2.5 hours, and we have done as we often do, got off the fucking subject. Right now, my head is hot, so make sure y'all, we're gonna make sure we put this in Rugged Soul. My nephew. I'll make sure we put that so y'all can get that. He has other stuff, so we'll put his Instagram in it. All right, so my head was hot. Leilani that made me laugh about the fingers. I'm gonna look that shit up once I get off here, y'all. Woo! The church finger. She said the church finger is the poison finger because this is the church finger. I don't know why that finger make you invisible in church, but it's the church finger. She said that's the poison finger for the turpentine. So make sure that when you are putting the turpentine in your navel,
Turpentine
get rid
X,
of the
turpentine
worms.
in there. It's the X. Put it around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry. She said it's an X with the turpentine with this finger. These two, either one, whether you left hand, right handed. Woo! Woo! We got off subject, and now I can't. And now I need to know why you cannot use the pointer finger because it's poison. I'll be looking that up at some point. Not right now. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this live because it has been, like I said, I'm working on 2.5 hours, y'all. As with every real talk, I go back and I recap. So here's the recap. We started off with Mr. Franklin Kirk, that is, and Cussin Kirk Franklin. Well, you know what, Kirk? You feel free to cuss your son out because you the reason he here. And as all the black mamas in the world can tell you, I brought your ass in this world, and I can take your ass out. There you go. I don't know why that finger makes you invisible in church. It just does. And I just follow the rules and the regulations. I don't know why this finger do you like that. And you got to make sure you bow down a little bit so you can act like you done disappeared behind the finger. I don't know. I don't know. It's some kind of voodoo magic. I don't know what it is. I'm going to, like I said, Kirk, baby, do you. You have done you all this time, and you have been doing you well. Don't let this little spoiled child get on your nerves. Okay? And the next time you see him, do what you said you was going to do. He is fucking nerves. All right. That being said, I understand that sex addiction may be a real thing. I hate that it's used as a convenience for when people want to cheat on their spouse, they can say they're addicted to sex. I'll take that shit. However, I will never take that your sex addiction caused you to kill 8 people. I will never let that will never sit well on my spirit. That will always mess up my chi and chakra. We have got to start feeling it, y'all. We have got to start feeling the pain of others. Because only for the grace of whoever you believe in. Because it could have been you and yours. You could be the next story. You could be the next crying parent. You could be the next person on the ground. We have got to start feeling when it happens to others. Because that's the only way we're going to change so that it won't happen again. Racism is not dead. Racism, prejudice, bias, these are all alive and living their best life in 2021. And that's only 3 months in. We've got to start feeling it, y'all. We've got to start feeling it. Cry, get mad, take a knee, pump your fist, say no more, go to the protest, post what you want, stream what you want, make people feel what you want, and then maybe we can affect change. As always, I would like to thank my co-hostess with the mostest, Leilani's Kitchen. If you have not already subscribed and been on Leilani's channel, I would like for you to go do that now, please. Please and thank you. Leilani, type something in the chat so that they can go clickety click, click, click on you, click, click, click. I would like to thank all my mods who make sure that our chats run smoothly, seamlessly, like water in a stream. Thank you so much. I want to thank Hood, who I have not seen before today, but thank you for driving this conversation, for riding with me. I want to thank Asia Means. I ain't seen you. I hope you're feeling better, Asia. Thank you, everybody, the entire Silly Mommy for Life. You know I got you all day, every day. I love you guys. Rico, you came in late. Got you too. Thank you so much, Mom Scar, for hanging out with me. Make sure you like, comment down below what you feel, what you want, what you need, what you like, what you don't. Make sure you share this video so that somebody else can start feeling it. And maybe they can make somebody else feel it. You know how I go. We're going to make this shit worldwide. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that every time we drop a video or go live, you guys can join us. This your girl, Lisa. This is DC Kool-Aid and Lisa, the Bomb Squad. I love y'all guys. Peace.
20 times tanks and don't get mad. Be a great big family, be a bomb squad. We on that